What's up, everyone? Luke here with another video. In tonight's video, I am up at the St. Croix Casino. No, I'm not gambling. This is a financial advice video. I don't recommend gambling, but I was invited out here to come up here and have a dinner. They have really great food here, so I was up here with my family, just checking everything out. Had some walleye, fish, really good food here. And it makes sense because casinos want to bring people in. And this video is a video about addiction and conquering your addictions. So I want to tell a personal story, not necessarily about myself, but somebody that I know very closely. So you can see back here in the casino, there's the casino sign back there. There's the entrance over there. And I just got done having an awesome meal, which is great and everything. But the temptation and the addictions that come with casinos and gambling are absolutely ridiculous in the United States. There are so many people out there that work 9 to 5 every week, and then they go Friday to the casino, they have a nice meal, and then they get sucked into gambling. Now, obviously, naturally, casinos want to have a wide variety of food. They want to have good service. They want to be very appealing to their customers because once people come here for food, they get sucked into gambling, even if they're not a gambler. Me personally, I am very strong-willed, so I've never really been a gambler. However, I have a close story that I kind of want to share with all of you and how addiction can literally ruin your life. Now, addiction can be anything. It could be alcohol, it could be gambling, it could be, anything can really be an addiction if you can self-identify that you are addicted to it, that you have a problem, that you cannot quit it, and that it's affecting your life. Something becomes an addiction when it starts to affect your life. That's a big problem. So, obviously doing another video off my phone, so we're kind of here on the fly, but the whole point of this is that you have to conquer addiction to be successful. If you have addictions, if you have things that are affecting your life, you've got to be able to conquer that. And it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy conquering addiction. Now, going back to this kind of personal experience, I had somebody very close to me in my own family. Now, this guy was a very hard worker. He worked since he was around 12, 13 years old, been working on and off his whole life. I think it was around age 19, he started his very own business, very successful business, been in business around 30 years. However, about 10 years ago, he got really addicted to this place, Turtle Lake Casino. And it was terrible because I knew this person, I knew them very well, I know them very well, very close person to me. And he took a business that he strived for. I mean, he was working 80 hours a week, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. every single day to try and start this business that he eventually started, got it off the ground. And he had built this business, over 25 years. And then he got into this gambling addiction. He got really addicted to table games, okay? Table games, we're talking blackjack, we're talking craps, we're talking roulette. And this person that I know almost lost his entire business due to addiction, due to gambling, due to the idea of possibly, betting $100, making $200. See, addiction starts by basically, when you go to a casino, I want to just kind of throw this out there about casinos. Sometimes a casino will actually prey on people, believe it or not. I know it sounds crazy, but I have friends out there that are actually blackjack and roulette dealers, so they actually work for the casino, etc. When they see somebody come in and they see somebody spending a lot of money, the casinos will actually try and favor them in their odds, make them win, make them seem like they're a big winner because they know that they're a big spender. Then once they got you and they think that you can spend all this kind of money there, etc., that's when they start taking their money back. See, casinos, especially the coin machines, they've all got timers on them, they've all got settings on them, etc. Table games, you have a little bit better odds, but there is no guarantee that you're going to win the money. So when it comes to gambling, if you are going to gamble, make sure that you are okay with what you're going to lose. Make sure that you're okay with what you're going to lose. If you're going to a casino and you're not okay with losing $1,000, don't spend $1,000. Spend $20. If you're okay, if you don't mind that you lose $20, spend $20. Only take $20 with you. So going back to this personal story, this person went through a really hard time. I mean, this person was betting $10,000 a time, like on the roulette table, on the blackjack table, whatever table games they played. And they almost lost their business over it. At the time that they started gambling, they had pretty much everything paid off. And by the time their gambling career or addiction kind of came to an end, pretty much everything that they had paid off was remortgaged again. And you think about that, that's absolutely crazy. So somebody that worked, almost 80 hours a week starting their business and putting 20 years of their life in their business, gave it all away for that. A casino, an addiction. Addictions are real. And I'm talking about this because addictions affect people that are younger and older. And the reason why this video is kind of personal to me is I knew this person really well, and it's really sad to see somebody struggle with something and not really be able to offer them help and not really understand the addiction. Now, me personally, I've always been a very strong-willed person. I would say that I've never really had an addiction, so to say. I've never really smoked cigarettes, never really been a drinker. I don't do drugs, so I don't really have any of those kind of addictions, but I know a lot of people who do, and I know it's hard. I know the struggle. I know that it's very hard. There's a lot of social situations that, bring pressure on us in today's world, especially being somebody who's, in your late teenage years, in your late 20s, even your early 30s. There's a lot of social situations that put pressure on us. And in order to be successful, you have to cut the addictions. You have to cut the things that are affecting your life. Now, if you go to the bar every Saturday with your friends, you spend $10-15, is that an addiction? Not really. Is that really affecting your life in a terrible way? Not really. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy yourself, but make sure that whatever you're doing, whether it's going to the club, gambling, going to the bar, make sure whatever sinful, not necessarily sinful, but, everything when I think of sinful, I think of anything that basically is kind of wasting time. But whenever you're, just kind of out relaxing, you're not focused on business, you're just, trying to enjoy yourself, just trying to live your life, make sure that it doesn't become an addiction. Make sure that it doesn't affect your life in a negative way. If you can go to the bar or the club every week with your friends and you're only spending a minimal amount of money, you're having a good time and you're not getting completely wasted and, you're not waking up the next day and not getting anything done, that's okay. But think of yourself, if you can relate to this or if this is you. If you go out to the club once a week, now it might be only once a week, but think about it like this. You go out to the club once a week, you spend $100. $100 a week, that's $400 a month, okay? And if you're spending $100 a week, there's 52 weeks in the year, that's $5,200 a year. Now on top of that, there's the time thing. Time is money. If you were going to the club and you were getting wasted every night, okay, if you were getting wasted every night, you waste that night, you spend $100, and then on top of that, the next morning, you feel like absolute trash. So you won't wake up. You won't wake up early. You won't get anything done. And you're going to be groggy throughout the whole day. Your mind might even be clouded. You're not going to be thinking of any good ideas. You're not going to be innovating anything. So keep that in mind when you decide to pick your hobbies, because sometimes your hobbies can affect your life, and at the point that they are negatively affecting your life, those hobbies are addictions. Some of my hobbies that I used to have, I don't really have a whole lot of hobbies anymore just because I'm really busy. I used to fish a lot. I used to like to go fishing. I used to play a lot of video games. Now, video games can be very addicting. I will say that. I know a lot of people addicted to games. I used to somewhat have a addiction to games, but I was 12 or 13 years old, so luckily I didn't have much better to do at the time. But the point is, they can be extremely addicting. Now, the pro to video games is one, I believe that they build a lot of skills just because you build typing skills, communication skills, etc. But on top of that, they keep you out of trouble. Video games keep people entertained, and they're cheap. $50 for a video game, you might be able to play it for a whole month. It's a lot cheaper than going to a bar. So before you pick your hobbies, and don't pick your hobbies just because, it's what your granddad did or your dad did or your mom did. Pick your hobbies. Try and pick your hobbies based on what you want to do with your life. So me personally, when I used to play video games, I always knew that I wanted to do something with technology. Now I buy and resell smartphones and electronics. I do 6 to 7 figures a year doing it, okay? So that's why I picked video gaming. I always loved technology, and then look what it grew into. So, if you want to pick a hobby and like going out to the bar is your hobby, that's awesome and everything, but ask yourself, are you ever going to make anything out of that hobby? I think that all of your hobbies should kind of have some kind of recollection or reflection on what you're trying to do with your life. So, like I said, hobbies are good, but make sure that they're not negatively affecting your life. Like I said, this personal story that I'm kind of just talking about, this guy was a hard worker. Hard worker. Been working since he was 12 years old and putting in 80 hours a week trying to start this business, okay? And then, I watched him all the time. I mean, I knew the guy very personally. I'm not going to say any names, but he almost lost his whole business to gambling. And, there was one time I was so upset with him. I was just like, I just can't believe you threw all that money away. You threw all that money away, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You threw that money away. You could have done something so much better with that money. We got into a little argument after at that point. But eventually he came to his senses and he changed himself. He got rid of the addiction. He got rid of the poison, the negativity. He got rid of that negative hobby that was negatively affecting his life. He took his business back, got everything paid down, stopped being in debt, stopped struggling, and he lives life now. He lives a good life. Got his business back. He's got friends back, family back. But when you get addicted to something as serious as gambling or drinking or clubbing or whatever it may be, and it's negatively affecting your life, you got to get rid of it. I know it's hard, but you got to get rid of the addiction. You got to get rid of the negative addictions. Like I said, so just kind of recapping on the video, guys, a bad hobby can turn into a bad addiction, and you got to get rid of them. So pick your hobbies wisely. That being said, I hope all of you have been enjoying these kind of mindset tips and just life tips. I've been through, a little bit of everything. I've been to jail. I've been bankrupt. I've been divorced. I've been through everything. I'm only 26 years old, but I've been through everything. I've seen a lot. I grew up with nothing. Now I'm successful, have a great life, and you can learn from somebody like that. See, the difference between me and a lot of these other people out there online, they're still in school, or they're living at home with their parents, or they still rent an apartment, and they got this little hunky-dory life, and that's fine and everything. That's cool. Like, I love different cliques. I got no problem with that. I always kind of blended in with everybody, but I could very well put a suit on, or whatever, and go play golf. I could put a blazer on, go play golf, whatever you want to call it. That's cool. But I can also jump on a dirt bike, go riding. I do a little bit of everything. That's how I grew up. I've been through every walk of life, and I'm only 26, had nothing, went through bankruptcy, got everything and more back after it. And so when I give these mindset videos, this is real actionable advice that I'm giving you from personal experience. This is what my intuition says that I should say to people, because if I can help you from making the mistakes that I made throughout in life, that alone gives me a purpose here on earth to help people avoid the mistakes that I made. Addictions, problems, whatever I went through. Didn't have any addictions, but just problems, and life experiences. Sometimes hearing life experiences, even if it's third person, like what I just shared tonight about the gambling story, that might save somebody tonight from being an addicted gambler. You never know. Just be careful out there. So that being said, thank you all for supporting my YouTube channel and watching my videos. Make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.